diamonds. Think that you acting, boy, don't you know who I am?
So, what is your general supply chain strategy? Just give us some main idea.
Well, when it comes to supply chain, there are many components and subcomponents of supply chain. Okay. The supply chain in organizing and purchasing raw materials for a facility, but then there are internal supply chains in how these materials are distributed in the factory and how the various lines and assembly lines basically receive this product. Okay, so I need to know from you which specific component of supply chain that you have an interest in, because it's a very broad subject.
As for the facility divisions, so what factors did you consider when it comes to selecting your locations and your capacity?
You're talking about the factory itself?
Yeah.
Okay. The decision making in us locating a factory in Tennessee was that research has basically demonstrated that 80% of all durable goods that are sold within the United States are sold within an 800-mile radius from a city called Cleveland, Ohio. So we needed to be somewhere within that zone where we can reduce our shipping costs to and from our facility based upon our strategic geographic location.
So, as for your manufacturing methodology, so do you think is it product focused or process focused?
Products are what generate revenue because you need something to sell. Okay? Process drives the productivity, the quality, and the efficiency of manufacturing is driven by process.
Okay. So you kind of focus on both factors.
You don't need a process if you don't have a product.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. So next, I'm gonna ask you about some inventory decisions.
Okay.
Do you know the overall inventory level? Like, what about the cost? High, low cost?
Okay. Inventory is something that nobody wants. Inventory is a liability to every company, even though on our own books we show inventory as an asset. Okay? If we didn't have any inventory, okay, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it costs money to buy the inventory. It costs money to hold the inventory. And there's always a percentage of inventory that either gets lost, it's damaged, so there's a loss factor associated with it as well. Okay. The determining factors, okay, in the inventory, everybody's looking, and I'm sure you've learned in class, but inventory turns. Okay. The more times you can turn your inventory, okay, the more profitable that inventory is. Okay. Because every single time you turn that inventory, from a finished product, from raw materials to a finished product, and then out the door, there's a certain revenue that's earned on that turn. Okay. Every time you turn, there's the revenue. Okay. So the more times you turn it, the more profitable it is. Okay. When we purchase inventory, we have to consider obviously the cost. The quantity that we buy, okay, is related, the cost is basically driven by the quantity. So how much do you buy? You buy one for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year. Okay? The larger quantity you buy, the less it costs you, but you turn it fewer times. So the return on investment is less. Okay. Also, we have to consider how far the inventory is coming from. Okay. If we have inventory coming from Asia, okay, it takes 2 weeks to get it to the boat, 3 weeks on the boat, 2 weeks to get it off the boat. Okay, so we got 6-7 weeks of product. Okay.
How do you control inventory?
Obviously, every part has a number,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a inventory control program in our basic accounting system.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And every time we invoice a product,
Mhm.
it automatically gets subtracted from inventory. Every time we bring products in and it's received at the warehouse, it automatically is uploaded and increases the inventory.
Yeah.
So the inventory goes up and down depending on, okay, now, in the inventory control system, we have a minimum and maximum level, okay, and the software maintains the balance between the two. Okay, so when we are approaching the minimum, it basically prints out a list of what is needed. It basically signals to our suppliers that we need these parts.
Shortage.
Yes. Okay. And it prints an exception report, which is a report showing that we are short in these particular items, but we still have some, so we're not out, because we still have the minimum. Okay. And then based upon what the lead times are to get the product, we set the minimums. It's a very long lead time, higher minimum, short lead time, lower minimum.
So when supply or demand uncertainty occurs, how to determine appropriate level of safety inventory?
Well, we have a backup supplier. All the products that we bring in, we have a major supplier, and then we have a minor supplier. Okay? And that is in case there is uncertainty on supply. Okay? So we don't necessarily have any safety stock because you have to turn the safety stock because it gets old. Okay? And safety stock really is nothing more than inventory anyway. Okay? So if you have a larger maximum, okay, you basically have the safety stock inside.
Okay.
Okay.
And the next question is about transportation decisions.
Okay.
So what modes of transportations are you using right now? Like air?
We use all,
All? Okay.
in and out. We use air, ocean, and land for bringing product into the factory,
Okay.
to buying, and also shipping to our customers. We use all three modes.
Use all the modes.
All
Okay.
modes.
The last question is about sourcing decisions. So are you using insourcing, outsourcing?
As far as the purchasing
Mm-hmm.
is done in-house, we have buyers, okay, who are responsible for certain products.
Mm-hmm.
They maintain the relationship with the suppliers, and they basically are the ones who do the buying.
So when selecting suppliers, what factors do you usually?
So it's a fairly complex metrics, okay, that we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at the health of the supplier, so we need to see their financial position to see if they are a strong supplier, if they are going to be there next month or 2 months from now, or they're not going to go out of business.
Okay.
Okay. We look at the quality of the products that they produce. Okay. We also look at what quality systems they have in-house, where they can control their own quality. Okay. And then we're looking at price. Okay. And then you have to negotiate the quantities, the prices.
Okay. So how do you evaluate the risk management in sourcing?
I mean, anything that can go wrong usually will go wrong. Okay? And a lot of that depends on where the product is coming from. If the product is manufactured next door in another building by another company, the risks are less than if you bring products in from Asia. Okay. If you bring products in from, let's say, Asia, the risk is not only for the manufacturer not to be able to supply on time, but the risk is also if there's a dock strike, the ships are not coming,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you cannot bring the product. Okay, so we consider all of these risks as part of our decision making. Okay, if it's a product where we buy in large enough quantities, okay, then we will bring it from far away because by nature we have more of it. Okay, if it's a product that we use very little of, we try to buy it locally.
Oh, okay. So it's not on the list, but anyway, do you have personal expectation for your company in the future?
Always.
Always.
Okay. You must have a goal.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a goal, you don't know where you are going. Okay. So we set very strict goals for our companies. Okay, based upon how much business we're going to do, based upon how much profit we're going to make, based upon what issues we're going to have with quality, okay, and also the performance of the various product lines. We look at the performance of our suppliers, we rate them, okay.
Thank you, Alex, for your time.